So last week it looked like I had gotten scammed out of $100, and this week it looks like I might be wrong. Okay, so quick recap. Last Friday, November 22nd, I put out a video regarding the Loop filament recycler. It all started when I saw an ad for a filament recycler that said it could blend, extrude, and spool the filament all in one machine that fits on your desk. The thing was on pre-order, but if you sent in $100, it would secure you a spot and a discount to get you one of the first machines that they make. I sent in the money and reached out to the team. They responded to me individually, and then they got a lot of other emails from a lot of other people, so they started doing a weekly newsletter, or semi-weekly newsletter, to placate all the demand and email volume that they were getting. Initially, they offered to get on a call with me to show off the prototype that they had, but that turned into a demo day that they were going to host, so everybody could see the prototype and see what they were working on. They planned to do the demo day on the 23rd, which was last Saturday, the day after I put out my video. At the last minute, though, on Friday the 22nd, they canceled the demo day. They said they were going to make some content instead and show us the machine that way. That made me suspicious, so I made a video documenting everything that had happened so far and outlining it so you could hear about it as well. You should probably watch that video before you watch this video. So now it's a week later. The Loop team actually delivered on making some content displaying their prototype filament recycler. On Monday, they released like a 45-minute video, complete with background information on the company, what they plan to do with the machine moving forward, and of course a demo showing the machine working. We got to meet some of the team that's involved, including the people that are doing the R&D and testing the machine, as well as the ones running some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, and the guy that came up with the idea altogether. I've got that video linked down below too. You should probably watch it if you want the full context, because I'm just going to summarize. Since I am a little bit more invested in this, and in the last video I said that I was going to follow the project a little bit more closely, here I am with an update. So again, I'm not going to go through everything they spoke about in the whole 45-minute video, but here's a quick little summary. For starters, the video is not shot professionally or anything like that. It looks like they even possibly rented some camera gear as they were having issues with the autofocus. And didn't seem too familiar with that specific camera. But they do touch on the fact that they wanted a more DIY approach when making the content. And that's actually something that worked in their favor, which I'll touch on in a little bit. But all this to say, keep in mind the video is going to be less entertaining and more informational, which is totally fine with me. I'm just glad the machine exists. So we're met by 4 of the main kind of front runners of the team. The project is happening at a place called the Possible Zone. I guess this is a center that offers tuition-free programming for STEM-based activities and creates a space for anybody to have access to some entrepreneurial paths and things like that. The guy introducing us to everybody and introducing us to the machine, his name's Sean. He's the director of enterprise at the Possible Zone, whatever that means. And he goes on to explain some of the companies he's worked with in the past and go through certain levels of credentials and things like that, before introducing the rest of the team and kind of talking more about the project specifically. My main takeaway here, though, is not only does the project actually exist, but there are people behind the project. Not only that, we're talking about people that have experience in these areas like product development, R&D, other buzzword type stuff. But even beyond that, it would appear as though if they don't have the in-house experience to tackle something that comes up in this project, they likely have a network of individuals that they can get a hold of to get the job done. I'm just saying, the place looks like they have resources. So that was kind of optimistic. Like, it seems like the kind of place that may be able to actually pull this thing off. But that's just the personnel. Enough about the team, what about the machine? So the demonstration of the machine was actually a little bit later on in the video. This is where the DIY-ness of the video kind of shines through a little bit more, which is fine, again. This portion of the video was led by my guy Emilio, and he seems to be the guy that's maybe actually building the machine, at very least is testing it or doing some of the R&D. And he's got an accent, so you know he means business. But he walks us through the whole demonstration. Everything from blending up your filament chunks, dumping it into the extruder, extruding the filament and feeding it through so it can get spooled correctly. And he talked about some of the features that he wants to automate and continue to add to the machine beyond just this prototype. So even though we are looking at simply a prototype, the machine does work. It recycles the filament. It blended it, it extruded it, it spooled it. Now, this demonstration came by the way of these long shots without any cuts in them. And I feel like this is one of those situations where their DIY approach is actually helping them, because I don't think they were aiming to have long shots necessarily. I think they're just figuring out how to present the content. But a byproduct of these long, uninterrupted shots is we got to watch the machine extrude for a long period of time and spool up filament without any editing or movie magic taking place. At least none that was obvious. And then, after all of that, as if it wasn't enough to see the thing work, they took the filament downstairs, loaded it into a printer, and printed, using the filament that they just made. We got another long shot of this printer printing out a calibration cube, and it's a cube. There's a thing being made from the filament that they extruded. I don't know, this demo went a long way in convincing me that this could actually be a product that gets delivered one day. Finally, they closed out the video talking more about where they plan to go with the machine. The dude on the end's name is Constantine, which is super sick. Everything that they were doing was through a lens of trying to make this thing a true desktop machine, especially regarding the noise of the unit. I think his exact quote was something along the lines of, "It should be able to be used without earplugs." And that's reassuring, because I know the noise level was a point of skepticism for a lot of people that saw this machine. From there, they moved on to the question and answer section, where they answered questions such as the following. What filament can we put through this sucker? This machine's going to recycle the most common filaments first, so PLA, PETG, ABS. What size and density of filament chunks can that blender take? Anything that's less than 35% infill, that's support material, or already spooled filament that you want to repurpose. How long does it take to shred the filament? Each shredding cycle takes 30 seconds, and it can take between 1 and 3 shredding cycles to get a good blend that's ready to be extruded. How long does it take to fill a spool? 1 kilogram every 1 hour, hour and a half or so. From there, they covered more details like repairability and how they're building the machine to be easily repaired or possible to be repaired even, and other stuff like pricing structure. But I'd encourage you to check out their video if you want to dive into that a little bit more, because there was just a lot of stuff that was covered and I can't get into all that in this video. Now, last week I was fairly skeptical about this product. And of course, after I posted that video, the comment section was very quick to tell me that, of course it's a scam. How could you not see it was a scam? I looked at this for half a second and I saw that it was a scam. Although there was a good portion of you that communicated having similar experiences with crowdfunding stuff going wrong, and so I do appreciate you guys joining in the comment section. But with any luck, this thing isn't a scam. With any luck, they're going to iterate a little bit further. And with any luck, that iteration's going to turn into production, and that production is going to turn into delivery of units. I know I'm going to be following any of the updates as they come out, and if they're substantial or anything of note, maybe I'll make a video and update you guys as well. In the meantime, follow their YouTube channel at Loop3D, subscribe to my channel if you want to stay up to date on any developments, watch my last video where I thought I got scammed, and maybe check out their video showing that I probably didn't get scammed. Bye.